Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is the Captain speaking here on Capnclydes MTG. We're back again. There has been more reveals to Fallout, not to mention some MagicCon reveals at MagicCon Chicago, I think what's going on. But we'll get that in the next video. We're going to get a 2 for today because we're going to try to keep this short for you, just like I tell my wife. Anyway. Don't forget, comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good jazz. Links in the description. Keep us sponsor free by subscribing and watching the videos. And anybody found ShamWow yet? Still looking. They still sell their shit. I know they do. I've seen them. People have told me in the comment section that they're out there. Where are they? Anyway, moving on. Let's take a look at some of the sweet new Fallout cards that came out today. We have Elder Owen Loins. Old Loins? Oh my god. Is it Elder Old Loins? Jesus. Blue, white, and 2 for this 3/3 legendary human knight. Artifacts you control have ward 1, and when your loins enter the battlefield or die. Oh Jesus, I'm sorry. I'll see myself out. Return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. Pretty good. Next, we're going to go through and do the old 4 at a time because we got lots of reprints mixed in here. There's no reason to give them all their own thing. Back on the land cycle again, we've got Temple of Mystery, Tainted Isle, Tainted Wood, Tainted Taint. Anyway, Woodland Cemetery. Also, we have Darkwater Catacombs, The Filter Land, Drowned Catacombs. We have Talismans finally. Wow, look at that. Talisman of Resistance, Talisman of Dominance. Did we not get Talismans in the other ones? Seems a little weird. Anyway, moving on. Then we have Temple of Deceit, Temple of Malady, or Malady. Giggity. We have the Opulent Palace, the one that comes into play tapped, 3 different colors. Basically sucks. Anyway, Nesting Grounds. So for 1 colorless, doesn't come into play tap. For 1, you can tap, move a counter from target permanent you control to another target permanent. Activate only as a sorcery. Probably worthless. Well, I mean, there's lots of token decks and things going on. You give people your rad counters, I guess, or whatever. Probably the coolest thing I've seen done with this is someone moving around their -1/-1 counters on their creatures so they could proliferate on other people's stuff. It's kind of funny. When somebody comes back with a or I've seen this once. Things that have not undead. Whatever it is, when they die, they come back with a +1/+1 counter on them, and then they die again, they get exiled. Like they die with a +1, they die, come back with a +1/+1 counter. You move the counter off, so that when they die, they come back again. Oh God, what the hell's that called? It's not undead. I'll figure it out here in a minute. Tell me in the comment section. I'm tired. All right, next we have an actual couple decent ones. The Talisman of Curiosities finally showed up. We also have Jason Bright, Glowing Prophet. Also a glow-in-the-dark zombie, apparently. Zombie Mutant Advisor, blue and 2 for this 2/3. Whenever the zombie or mutant you control dies, if its power was different from its base power, draw a card. So, it's a 3-mana 2/3 that draws you a card when he dies. Anyway, for 2 mana, you get Come Fly With Me. Sacrifice a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It gains flying to end of turn. Oh, for 2 mana, you can sack a creature, draw a card, basically. That's what that says. And you can sacrifice Jason. Just should put a hockey mask on him while they're at it. Anyway, Meyer Lurk Queen. Well, I jacked that name up. Blue and 4 for this 4/4 with Vigilance. When it enters the battlefield, target player gets 2 rad counters. You so rad. Whenever 1 or more non-land cards are milled, draw a card. Then put a +1/+1 counter on the queen. This ability triggers only once each turn. That's still cool. I mean, mill your opponent, you draw a card. That would make it possible to make the deck to mill your opponent out in Commander. And we all know how we love a challenge and the look on your opponent's face when they run out of cards. Next, we have the Infesting Rad Roach. There's nothing rad about this at all. Ew. Black and 2 for a 2/2 has flying. Infesting Rad Roach can't block. That makes sense. Whenever Infesting Rad Roach deals combat damage to a player, they get that many rad counters. Whenever an opponent mills a non-land card, If infesting rad roaches in your graveyard, you may return it to your hand. It's kind of cool. I mean, that's one way you can like sacrifice this, draw a card, then mill your opponent, get this back to your hand. Because you know how people like to sacrifice creatures to draw, or put Jace on the battlefield, keep putting this thing back into your hand as you make Jason huge. And before you know it, he's Jason Voorhees. Moving on. Next here we have West Tech Tyrant. It's the Grave Titan. 2 black and 4 Grave Titan, 6/6 Death Toucher. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, you get two black zombie creature tokens. Two zombie creature tokens. Like the border, not real fond of this art. I mean, it's all cool except for this guy. I don't know. This kind of doesn't seem in place. I mean, if you like it, so be it. But like, I'd probably get a regular Grave Titan. Glowing 1, green and 2 for this 2/2 Death Toucher. Whenever the glowing 1 deals combat damage to a player, they get 4 rad counters. Holy cow. Whenever a player mills a non-land card, you gain 1 life. That's just a good card all in all for an uncommon. Marcus Mutant Mayor. Blue, green, and 3 for a 4/4 with Vigilance and Trample. The good old Vample. Hey, I figured out a new one. Instead of Flample, it's Vample. Anyway. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. If that card has a +1/+1 counter on it. If it doesn't, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Okay. So it's 5 mana, punch your opponent in the face. If he gets through, probably will, it has trample. He becomes a 5/5. And then after that, you start drawing cards. Seems fair. Screeching Scorch Beast. 2 black and 4 for a 5/5 flying menace. It's a flint or a fence. Minning. Anyway. Whenever Screeching Scorch Beast attacks, each player gets 2 rad counters. Whenever 1 or more non-land cards are milled, you may create that many 2/2 black zombie mutant creature tokens. Do this only once each turn. But it is each turn, so if you have an instant that mills, you can make creatures on your opponent's turn. Ain't that so cool? Anyway, sorry. I'll lay off the caffeine. So, some more land cycles. The good old Mortuary Mire comes into play tapped. Enters a battlefield, creature card in graveyard, top of your library. Hinterland Harbor, Sunken Hollow. You gotta have 2 or more, or have a forest or an island. Fetid Pool, cycling, blue-black land. I mean, I play this in Commander. It's actually a pretty good card because you can fetch for it. Fetchy. Also, we have the Branching Evolution, green and 2 enchantment. Whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters be put on a creature you control, twice that many +1/+1 counters are put on that creature instead. Seems to work pretty good with hardened scales, I've heard. Strong, the Brutish Thespian. So 2 green and 4 for this 7/7 Ward 2. Has Enrage. Wow, I haven't seen that in a while. Whenever Strong is dealt damage, you get 3 rad counters and put 3 +1/+1 counters on Strong. You gain life rather than lose life from radiation. Holy cow, that's good. Wow. Anyway, we got a Tato Farmer. And yes, that's how you say it. Tato. Green and 2 for a 1/4. Has Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may get 2 rad counters. Tapping. Put target land card from your graveyard that was milled this turn onto the battlefield under your control tapped. It's not too bad, I guess. Then we have the good old Cathedral Acolyte. Green and 1 for a 1/2. Each creature you control with a counter on it has Ward 1. Tap it. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature that entered the battlefield this turn. Only okay. Only because you can't, in response, put a counter on something, give it Ward that your opponent can't pay, because it has to be something that enters the battlefield this turn. That's the only thing I don't like about this. Other than that, that actually be a pretty good card. But there's enough shenanigans going around. Probably won't see that on a green card. Next, we have reprint of Harmonize, and I'm not sure how this is harmonizing anything. This looks more like skin cancer. 2 green and 2, draw 3 card sorcery for green. Winding Constrictor reprint, talked about this, green, black. If 1 or more counters is put on a creature you control, that many counters +1. If you would get 1 or more counters, you get that many +1. Gotta say, this art is sweet. I'd definitely be playing 4 of these if I had them in my Constrictor deck. Contagion Clasp, 2 for the artifact that when it comes into the battlefield, put a -1/-1 counter target creature, and you can proliferate for 4. Eh. And then you have it, flavor win of the day, Nerd Rage. So, blue and 2. Why is it in blue? Anyway, blue and 2 for enchant creature. When it enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards. Enchant creature you have no maximum hand size, and whenever this creature attacks, you must have 10 or more cards in hand. Oh, whenever it attacks, if you have 10 or more cards in hand, it gets +10/+10 to end a turn. I want that card to be good because of what it's called. I just don't see it. But I've also seen worse. So next we have another couple good reprints. We have Farseek, always a good one. Rampant Growth. Hello. Love the art. Nukola. Not Rick. Nuke. Anyway. Spiring Call, green and 2. Draw a card for each creature you control the +1/+1 counter on it. Those creatures are also indestructible. Nice instant. And finally, we have Find and Finality. An oldie but a goodie from Standard. Split mana, black, green. For 2 mana, you can return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. Or for a black, green, and 4, put 2 +1/+1 counters on something, and then everything gets -4. We also have other good reprints. We have Cultivate, green and 2, get 2 lands, 1 on the battlefield, 1 to your hand. Tireless Tracker reprint, I do like the art on that. Green and 2 for the old 3/2 with Landfall. When land enters the battlefield, you investigate. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, this thing gets a +1/+1 counter. Then we have the Nightkin Ambusher, black, blue, and 2, 4/4, pretty good. Ward 2, even better. When it enters the battlefield, target player gets 4 rad counters, not terrible. And it can't be blocked as long as the defending player has a rad counter. That makes it pretty damn good. Next we have Contaminated Drink. Black, blue, and X. Draw X cards, then you get half X rad counters rounded up. Interesting. That might be a good card even as an uncommon. It is an instant. Next we have James, Wandering Dad. Dad jokes incoming. Blue and 2 for this 2/4 tap. Add 2 colorless mana. Spend it only activate abilities. It also has, hey, follow him. An instant for 2 blue and X. Investigate X times. That's fine, I guess. We have Sean, Father of Synthis. Red, blue, and 3 for a 3/4. Whenever you attack, you may create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of target attacking legendary creature you control other than Sean, except it's non-legendary, and it's a Sith artifact creature in addition to its other types, and when Sean leaves the battlefield, exile all Sith tokens. So, if you didn't hear that, because I spoke kind of quick, it makes a copy of a legendary creature you control that's an artifact and non-legendary, and it only goes away if they kill it or you kill Sean. This is a 5 mana Kiki Jiki that gets to swing to activate, and the shit don't go away. This seems pretty good. Pretty good. We have Carry, Emergent Intelligence, a blue and 1 for a 1/3. Whenever it deals combat damage to player, draw cards equal to its base power. It's basically an Ophidian. For a blue and 1, exile another non-token artifact creature you control. Carry becomes a copy of the exiled creature, except it has, when this creature does combat damage to player, draw cards equal to its power. Holy crap, is that good. Wow. Oh, did I just put a 7/7 in my 7/7 blue thing in my graveyard? Oh, let me just have this Curie become a 7/7 and punch you in the face and just Wheel of Fortune myself with no drawback. Anyway, we have a Plasma Cutter, red and 1, equipment artifact. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. Whenever the equipped creature attacks, you get 2 energy counters. By paying 2 energy, you can choose target creature that's blocking equipped creature, flip a coin. If you win the flip, exile chosen creature. Otherwise, it deals 1 damage to it, equips for 2. That seems pretty good. Man, does that seem really good. Alright, moving on, we also have the Bottle Cap Blast. I love it. Red and 4 has Improvise, which means you can tap artifacts you control to help cast it. It deals 5 damage to any target. Excess damage that would be dealt to a permanent this way creates that many tapped treasure tokens. That's going in every red deck I've ever seen. Especially the one that uses Ragavan. because it already makes tokens, or that dwarf that makes tokens. Like, this is going to be a good card, even for an uncommon. Sentinel Sarah Lions. Red, white, and 3 for a 4/4 with haste. As long as the artifact enters the battlefield of your control this turn, creatures you control get +2/+2. Notice it says creatures, not her, so everything gets 2 crusades for the turn. Has battalion. Whenever it and 2 other creatures attack, it deals damage equal to the number of artifacts you control the target player. This is going to be disgusting, because you're going to swing and probably shoot somebody for God knows how much because there's artifact lands. Put that out there. Lands that are artifacts, along with everything else. Anyhow, we have the Synth Infiltrator. 2 blue and 3 improvise. Again, use artifacts to pay, so you could get it for 2 blue. You may have the Infiltrator enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield except it's a synth artifact creature in addition to its other types. That's really cool. I like to play that in my commander deck. Not like a 2 mana copy, any nasty thing on the board. Red Death Shipwrecker. Red and blue for a 1/3. It has alluring eyes. I guess as long as it talks a little dirty to me. Tap, go target creature an opponent controls. That player draws a card. You add 1 red. That is the weirdest combination of things I've seen on a card. I'm going to goad your creature, let you draw a card, and I'm going to add 1 red mana. What the hell? I mean, I guess it's a mana dork, kind of, sort of, with big drawbacks. I mean, it is a crab. Nobody wants crabs, right? I don't know. So, next we have a reprint of Austere Command. Oh, look at that. The poor bobbleheads. 2 white and 4. Choose 2. You can destroy all artifacts, enchantments, creatures, mana value 3 or less, or 4 or greater. Next we have the Motherlode Excavator. That's what she said. Anyway, 2 red and 3 legendary artifact robots, a 5/5. When it enters the battlefield, choose target opponent. You get an amount of energy counters equal to the number of non-basic lands that player controls. Okay. Whenever it attacks, you may pay for energy. When you do, destroy target non-basic land defending player controls and creature that player controls without flying can't block. That's kind of cool, I guess. I mean, it's 5 mana, 5/5. I mean, if you don't get no energy, 5 mana, 5/5. Just saying. We have Helios 1. It's a land, and it's a decent one. Comes into play untapped, taps for a colorless. For 1 and tapping it, you can get an energy counter. That's real cool. For 3 and tapping it, you can pay X energy, sacrifice Helios 1, destroy target non-land permanent with mana value X, only activate as a sorcery. That's another good land card that can help you build your deck and then in the late game destroy something. Good card. People are not probably going to give this as much credit as it deserves, but I think this should be in almost every deck. I mean, it's going to be slow, don't get me wrong. Definitely better in an energy deck. But, I mean, sometimes you've got time to just do these shenanigans. Then we have Camp. 3 colorless artifact fortification. Whenever the fortified land is tapped for mana, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control. If that creature shares a color with the mana that land could produce, create a junk token. So now we have Fortify, where you can equip things to lands. Well, I mean, this isn't broken, but I'm sure this is not going to go anywhere fun, and it's probably going to go there very quickly. With that said, we're going to cap this one off at 20 minutes. I'm going to go back. We'll make another video for all this stuff coming out at ChicagoCon. So stay tuned and check out the next video. Or if you're watching the next video, I hope you watched this one after that one and this one. And anyway, till next time, be kind. Hope to see you guys crossing the game table. Later, player. It's the Motherlode. Giggity.